Hey guys! So today I'm going to do a little review for you. I know I've never done an actual review on one book on this channel before, which is pretty stupid. But hey, there's a first time for everything, so I kind of feel a bit bad making a review about this book because it's literally just turned 1 year old. I feel like I'm bullying a child. Oh god, I've become the villainy of BookTube. What, oh. So just like Will and George, regardless of its age, I still have something to say about it. Oh, satire. So let's go bully some children's books. It's not even a children's book, it's bloody YA. So the book that I am going to be reviewing today is We Come Apart. So the other day, you will know that I made a haul, a post-Christmas haul, and in that haul I did buy this book, and I read it rather quickly actually. I think it was in five days? I'm not entirely sure, it was something like that, because it's so easy to read. So before I keep going, spoiler alert, I'm gonna spoil this book, even though, to be honest, there's no spoilers because nothing really happens. I feel like if anyone likes this book, I'm going to get, like, sent for. I am literally villainy. I will be talking in depth about this book, so if you haven't read it or you want to read it, you can stay if you want, but I am going to talk about it. But if you have read it, or you just can't be bothered to read it, I'm going to tell you about it. So I may as well go through the basic plot of the book. I use the word plot very lightly. So there's two main characters, Niku and Jess. Niku is from Romania and Jess is just from, I think she's from East London. They have both done a small crime, it's not even a big thing, so they have to go and do some community service. And through their community service they meet each other and start a friendship. But it's not really a friendship because Jess doesn't talk to him at school, she only talks to him at the community service thing, and sometimes they go to the park together. That's kind of it. That's the only time. And Niku gets really badly beat up by, like, all of Jess's friends and she does nothing. Ever. Then we find out that Niku is betrothed to a woman in Romania, and his parents are just making some money until they can go over back to their country and marry him off. But obviously he doesn't want to get married. Jess, on the other hand, her story is a bit more dark. Her stepfather is an abusive parent who regularly beats her mother and makes her watch, and it's very horrible. They get very close and realise that they both need to get out of their respected homes, so they plan to run away. And Niku accidentally stabs someone and then Jess goes on her own because Niku leaves her. That's that, and then it ends, that's it. It's a bit rubbish, to be honest. But yeah, so that's kind of the plot. I'm now going to go through the stuff I didn't like about the book. Obviously how Jess handles her situation, I did not like that. She could have done more, but she didn't. Like, that part of the book, it made like awareness of what does go on in some people's homes, and I think it is good to, you know, make people aware of this. But the way Jess handled it, I don't think was perfect. it didn't really help get the point across that you can do something about it if that's happening in your house. She literally does nothing to help her mum. That's probably what got me. She didn't do anything to help. I know she's a young girl, but even in that situation, she had a phone that had recordings of it on. She was about to delete it, but she could have handed it into the police, but she never did. That would have been a better way to go about it. But no. I really disliked the ending because it felt like there was a beginning, a middle, and it got halfway through the middle and it just ended. I feel like there wasn't a concrete ending to this book. I just don't know what happened. I just don't know. It's just a bit nothingy. Also, Miku's bits are, as I said in my previous video, they're a little bit hard to follow because he speaks in broken English. I thought it was a good idea to begin with to distinguish between who is speaking. I thought that was a good idea. But I thought to add character development, they'd make him speak more fluently as the book progresses, but apparently not. I thought it would be broken and then went into a more fluid way of speaking because he's spent a longer time here, and then it would kind of come together as Jess and Miku. Their bits, like, were both the same, if that makes sense. Also, this was written after Brexit. I don't want to get political, I'm not about that life, but the way they think children speak in schools is not, this is not how people speak. I was at school when the vote happened, which is when this is set. No one said any of this. No one thinks that people from Romania are from ISIS. No one really cared enough to tell people who were foreign to go back home. No one, statistically, the younger you were, the higher the likelihood you would vote in to stay within the European Union. So these two authors depicting that all of the children in the school wanted Miku to go back to Romania is very, very different from how it actually was. Because it was more the older generation of the UK who wanted to leave, and the younger wanted to stay in. Because we've grown up with different diverse cultures around us, and it's part of life, and we welcome everyone, because it doesn't matter where you're from, as long as you feel at home here. Does it really matter? And this book does not depict that, and it confuses me. It really does, because I don't know where they've got that idea from. Like, I get there might be a little bit of bullying, and I get that. I totally get that, because a lot of people get bullied. I understand, and at that time it was a sensitive subject. Okay, but it was blown so out of proportion in this book. It just angered me, because it was just so boring, because it just repeated over and over again, and that's all that happened, was this boy got bullied a lot, but he did nothing about it until the very end where he stabbed a bloke. He's not helping his image. Let me think of some redeeming factors of this book. This may take some time. I felt like trying to make people aware of the issues surrounding these two characters, like the home issues and the cultural issues, was a good route to go down. It was just they approached it in a very backwards way that I didn't like. But I feel like if it was written differently, then they could have really got a good message across, you know, helping other people, thinking about... She was really rude to her mother at some points. I just didn't understand. She was like, oh, there was a part where she wanted her mum to stand up for herself. But then, in that situation, sometimes you can't. And Jess didn't learn that, which I feel like she should have learned. That some people are in situations where they can't speak out about certain things. But Jess just didn't understand that. And I feel like that showed a very negative side to how we should approach this sort of domestic violence and those sorts of issues. If I had have personally written it, I would have made sure we were aware that people handle things differently. And although, yes, maybe she should have spoken out, it's hard. It's not an easy thing to speak about because you're worried for yourself, you're worried for your daughter. It's not easy. She was getting abuse from her husband, and not abuse from Jess, but, you know, Jess wasn't there supporting her where she should have been. Also, I would have made one or two of the other characters more tolerant of Niku, because it seemed like there was only one character who actually embraced him. Oh, except the group in the community service thing. They all liked him. I liked them. I wish I'd seen them more, because they seemed like quite fun people. They reminded me of the people in Perks of Being a Wallflower, actually. Not because there's any similarities, but they gave that kind of vibe off, if that makes any sense. I didn't write it, so what can I do? I also love the cover, and the new cover. If you've seen the new cover, it's really pretty. It's actually prettier than this one. But unfortunately, what is within does not reflect the outside. There's a lot I didn't like about this book. I do personally feel like I wasted a lot of time reading this book when I could have been reading something else, but obviously that happens. I thought as I read it I'd come to like it more, but I didn't, because I went into it thinking that this was going to be a really good book. I wasn't reading it to hate it, I was reading it because I thought I'd love it, but I didn't. The thing is, I had such high hopes for this book, and I was so excited for it, but no. The ending was appalling. It just stopped. The book just angered me. And I don't want to read angry. I want to read to get away from things or to learn something new. But I didn't. I just got angry. Oh. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry if I just offended your favourite book. I did not mean to cause you offence. I just had some things I needed to say. So yeah. I'm currently reading Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, so once I finish that I will have a review of the Infernal Devices, because I love the Infernal Devices more than I possibly should. I can't tell yet if I like it more than the Mortal Instruments. I'm really trying to decide, because I know I don't have all of the Mortal Instruments, but I have read them, so not a fake fan, don't worry. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon for more book stuff. Bye! Oh, satire.